Welcome to your favorite program, The Power Circuit, from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. This program keeps you informed about the operations of TCN as it transmits bulk power and manages the national power grid. Before we proceed, let's bring you the headlines. Federal government accelerating energy access in Nigeria, says Minister of State for Power. System operations staff of TCN participate in seminar on service level agreements in Abuja. TCN engineers execute routine maintenance at 132 kV Caro substation. TCN makes expansion plans for transmission substations in rivers. Please stay with us as these reports unfold. I am Amara Agugoisi. The Minister of State for Power, Mr. Jedi Agba, has reiterated the federal government's efforts in accelerating access to energy in Nigeria. The minister stated this when he received a delegation from the Rural Electrification Agency, REA, and DAI Nigeria in his office recently.
Mr. Jedi Agba, who commended the knowledge-driven efforts by REA and DAI Nigeria in promoting access to energy, said the government will continue to optimize resources through the deliberate use of off-grid solutions being implemented by REA. The DAI Nigerian team was led by Dr. Joe Abba, who restated their commitment towards working with REA in expanding connections to electricity, especially in unserved areas. The Managing Director and CEO of REA, Engineer Ahmed Salhijo Ahmed, who commented on the meeting, in a statement said, the management of REA will continue to encourage and facilitate knowledge-driven mechanisms, noting that it was part of the agency's vision and strategic roadmap to improve energy access for the unserved and the underserved across Nigeria.
Towards improving bulk electricity supply services, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has held a seminar in Abuja where its management team parleyed with the system operations staff of the company on effective implementation of the service level agreements.
Speaking at the seminar, the Executive Director, Independent System Operations at TCN, Engineer Mamman Jimo Lawal, said the seminar on the Service Level Agreement (SLA) was crucial in the current dispensation of service improvements in the power sector.
I believe that we all know the import of this seminar. You know, we cannot afford to make mistake, okay, in the current dispensation, because any mistake we make can be very expensive, right? That is looking at the commercial aspect of it. And there's the other aspect that matters, greatly, and that has to do with the integrity of the ISO. You are supposed to do it as the impartial arbiter. Whatever information you render should be dependable, okay? To that extent, we have to conduct ourselves in a manner that is transparent. All right? Being transparent means that the information we furnish must be enough, must be adequate. Such information must be accurate and it must be timely furnished. If any of these is missing, then we cannot lay claim to transparency. Yet, transparency is the hallmark of electricity industry the world over.
Engineer Lawal then charged the system operators to be diligent in their duties to ensure that TCN continues to lead in the power sector service delivery.
You must be competent in handling your job. Competency entails a lot. There will be no excuses. Okay? If there are issues, do let us know. Okay? Thank you very much.
Other officials in the system operations section of TCN, including those from the 9 regions, made presentations on the strategies they have developed to improve service delivery in line with service level agreements. In his response to the various inquiries made by the participants, The head of System Operations Section of TCN, Engineer Lawal, said the import of the meeting was to ensure that every unit in TCN, including the regions, further make improvements on service delivery so they can be pace setters in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Some of the participants also spoke about the importance of the seminar on service level agreements on the sideline. An Assistant General Manager System Operations at TCN, Engineer Adesonya EA, gave his view on why the SLA is an effective strategy.
I would say SLA, based on the agreement signed, is conclusive because all the parties involved have signed, and it's a key factor to the new development in the electricity business, which gives transparency to every stakeholders in trading its business in the electricity industry.
A senior manager at the National Control Center in Oshogbo, Engineer Ojo Adebiyi, also summed up what he had gained from the seminar, especially on the role NCC plays in delivering on the SLA.
NCC plays a critical role. Every data that we use in SLA is aggregated at NCC. Besides the monitoring of the implementation itself has to be from the National Control Center, because every data is aggregated at that place, and at the same time we will discover that all the monitoring to ensure compliance has to be from the National Control Center, and all the reporting for SLA has to come to the National Control Center. So NCC plays a very critical role in coordination, in implementation, and in recording of data.
The power circuit continues after this break.
Do not build under transmission power lines for your safety and health. Electricity power lines and substations, either for power transmission or power distribution services, are extremely dangerous when exposed to direct human contact. These power lines and substations transmit electricity that lights up our homes and offices, power our computers, TVs, and refrigerators. On the other hand, the same electricity when exposed is extremely dangerous. It can shock, electrocute, and kill anyone on its way. That is why everyone must adopt safety measures whenever we use or are close to electricity facilities like power lines or substation or transformers. For the safety of the people and animals, governments all over the world have approved way leave or right-of-way of 50 meters for 330 kV power lines and 30 meters for 132 kV power lines, and for 33 kV lines, the way leave is 15 meters. People are not expected to be found within this way leave or right-of-way for safety reasons. The lines can suddenly cut and fall to the ground with very disastrous consequences, such as fire and electrocution of anybody and destruction of anything, be it vehicle, houses, or vegetation on its line. It has also been established that power lines and substation emit electromagnetic fields, EMF, which is dangerous to human health. The World Health Organization, WHO, has warned that people who spend long hours under or close high-tension lines stand the risk of being affected by EMF and be vulnerable to cancer, leukemia in children, miscarriages among pregnant women, and other terrible diseases. It is therefore advisable not to build any structure or operate any business under or near any electricity high-tension lines or substations. TCN wants you to stay alive, stay safe, stay healthy, avoid power lines. This message is from the management of Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN.
To ensure seamless bulk power delivery, in-house engineers of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, have undertaken a routine maintenance exercise at the 132 kilovolts Carol transmission substation in Abuja. Here is more reports on this.
At the routine maintenance of the 132-33 kilovolts Carol transmission substation, the engineers work diligently with their checklist as they check one of the 60 MVA power transformers and all its components. They began by setting their equipment for the oil check and continue with the transformer checks. At the switchyard of the Karo Power Transmission Substation, the team of TCN in-house engineers cleaned the circuit breakers and checked the transmission cables to ensure they were in the best operational condition. The engineers further took their time to meticulously examine the various parts of the power transformers in the substation. The transformer oil change process was also observed during the extensive maintenance process. The power cables and connectors were also checked along with the switchyard breakers. The acting managing director and CEO of TCN, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, had recently reiterated the commitment of the management team towards boosting proactive maintenance of power transmission substations and lines across the country to ensure that the transmission grid is always in top shape to deliver bulk electricity to distribution load centers for onward supply to consumers. The routine maintenance at the Karo transmission substation, serving populated towns in Abuja and the adjoining Nasarawa state, is a clear demonstration of sustaining the maintenance culture at TCN. In the control room, the senior manager power control and maintenance, Engineer Rahmat Musa, commented on the annual maintenance at the 132-33 kV Karo transmission substation.
We are in Karo substation. We are doing annual maintenance of 2x60 MVA transformer today. We are starting with transformer TR2, and it's a routine maintenance ELA to check all our protective relay, whether they are working properly, where they are reliable, and where they are sensitive to a fault, external fault. This is what we do ELA, and we make sure we clean all the panels, blow everywhere, try to do functional tests outside too. We trip test everything and make sure that things are working properly. As you can see, I have a team of ladies engineers around me doing the work.
Engineer Rahmat also explained the processes involved in the substation maintenance exercise.
When we are doing maintenance, we have schedules that will follow. First of all, we make sure everybody is kitted. Then we start from switchyard, do physical check. We go around, do all the physical check, make sure it's properly isolated. Everywhere where we are to work is properly isolated. And when they are properly isolated, fine, we now come physically and do all cleaning first. What we normally do, we do cleaning of all our equipment. After the cleaning, then we can now start the injection on the protective relay, try to check all our relays, whether they are working. We go outside, check all our breakers. We have 33 kV breakers, we have 130 kV breakers. We make sure if there's a fault, we open and close, both local and remote, and make sure they are working properly. We also go to the transformer. We are going to carry out a series of tests in transformer today. We have ratio, we have short circuit, we have core balance. We try to do all, we have the IR, and we try, when we do all this, we'll go back to the factory test and see, is it the same, or if there's deviation from the factory test or the pre-commissioning test. We'll be able to, if there's any difference, we'll try to see what causes this difference, then we'll try to arrest it. So, and that's the aim of annual maintenance, to see if your equipment is degrading, what action are you to take before final breakdown. That's the main reason why we try to do this annual maintenance. If everything is okay, we'll restore back. If anything needs to be changed, we have so many spare that will come with, we change them, we do everything, make sure things are working properly.
After the annual maintenance, the TCN engineering experts said it will be a good boost to the stability of the transmission system. After
this annual maintenance, we expect the system to be more stable, reliability. That's mainly stability and reliability is what we want. And if there is a fault, let those that need to isolate, not to take out the whole system. It's mainly reliability and stability of the system.
TCN is also using its pool of veterans to develop more capacity in the transmission grid management. This, according to a retired principal manager at the Karo Substation, Engineer S.A. Nnemeka, is an innovative strategy that has helped to advance the company. He also described the capacity of the Karo Substation where he works at present.
We have a 2 by 60 MVA transformer, 1 to 2/3 kV transformers. So each is 60. So combined, we have 120 MVA transformers here. The two transformers, they have different feeders. Like T1 has 3 feeders: K1, K2, K3. And each of these feeders, they carry load of maybe around it depends on load demand. Like K1 can carry up to 18 megawatts. The other feeder that's K2 can carry up to 18. Then the other one can carry up to 15. But what to do that, we try as much as possible not to exceed the capacity of the transformer. So at times, if the load goes high, that is when we have to drop some load, or we take the decision to drop some of the feeders in order not to go beyond the capacity of that transformer.
He also said the TCN management has often worked towards clearing any challenge that could hinder seamless bulk power transmission from the substation.
We don't have much challenges. We don't have much challenges because everything has been arranged. Like you can see now, our maintenance men, they are in the site, they are in the switch now working. Our aim is to to give them protection guarantee. So as they are working now, we have isolated area where the job is to be the apparatus covered. The apparatus on which they want to work has to be properly isolated so that there will be no accident. So meanwhile, as they are working now, all the feeders on that transformer TR2, they are out because there's no way you can close the feeders to feed the public because they are already working there. It is only at the end of the work now, at the end of the maintenance work, they surrender the permit, authorizing us to bring back the equipment live again. The purpose of the annual maintenance is that the transformer has windings. It's just like an engine. If you put it has oil, that oil as it is working, the viscosity will be reducing because of the heat generated in the windings of that transformer. So annually now they have to drain that transformer oil and put fresh one, just for efficiency. Just like your car now. After some months, you drain the oil, put another one, the engine becomes live again.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says it is making further expansion plans for critical power transmission substations in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. The regional transmission manager of the Port Harcourt region of TCN, Engineer Idris Alim, spoke to the power circuit about this during a tour of the substations recently.
The 132-33 kilovolts Port Harcourt Main and Port Harcourt Town substations in Rivers State are critical power transmission facilities in the Port Harcourt region of TCN serving the city center. To immediately expand the bulk power delivery capacity ahead of anticipated increase in power generation, the regional transmission manager of the Port Harcourt region of TCN, Engineer Idris Alim, said processes have begun to add 100 MVA power transformers to the substations. At the Port Harcourt Main, which is also called Z2, Engineer Alim said a new 100 MVA power transformer will complement the double 60 MVA power transformers in place already.
This is 60 MVA transformer. This is another 60 MVA transformer. So as I told you, we need to upgrade this station with 100 MVA transformer, and this is the position where we are going to position the 100 MVA transformer. It will now be 2 by 60, then 1 by 100 MVA transformer, so that we can now upgrade it. So this is the plane already. The plane is already there. So what we are after now is we are waiting for the arrival of the transformer, and then with the other accessories, circuit breaker, CTs, isolators. Once those materials are available, then we'll commence job on it, at least to install the 100 MVA here. So that we have 2 by 60, then 1 by 100, in Port Harcourt Main. This is what we call Port Harcourt Main.
Moving to the 132-33 kV Port Harcourt town, also known as Z4, the TCN regional head said the substation already had a range of 60 MVA and 30 MVA power transformers, which will be further complemented with a 100 MVA power transformers that will be installed by the TCN in-house engineers.
Then the first one there is 30. This one too is 30. This one too is 30. So we are going to remove one of the 30 and replace it with 100 MVA. So that we will now have 60, 30, 100, 30. So that's what we want to do. Because we have 330. So out of the 330, we are like this one now is 30, 45. No problem. It's 30. We are going to remove it and replace it with 100. So that we have 60, then 2 by 30, then 100. We have upgraded it at least. So that's what we want to do in this Port Harcourt town.
Already, the Port Harcourt town can deliver about 150 MVA, which can deliver over 100 megawatts of energy to the distribution load centers.
In terms of capacity MVA, this one 60 MVA, so you have 30, 30, 30, 90, 90 plus 60, 150, 150 MVA.
In the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, we transmit bulk electricity from power generating companies, GenCos, to distribution load centers of various distribution companies, DISCOs. Nationwide, we do not generate electricity, neither do we distribute same directly to electricity consumers. TCN has 2 business units, the Transmission Service Provider, TSP, and Independent System Operations, ISO. The ISO comprised of System Operation, SO, and Market Operation, MO. The business units all perform specialized functions under the TCN umbrella. Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, wielding power for national economic growth. This message is brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN.
As we come to the end of this edition, get the top stories again. Federal government accelerating energy access in Nigeria, says Minister of State for Power. System operations staff of TCN participate in seminar on service level agreements in Abuja. TCN engineers execute routine maintenance at 132 kV Karu substation. TCN makes expansion plans for transmission substations in rivers. Thanks for staying with us on this edition of The Power Circuit. You can view this episode and others on TCN YouTube channel. Please interact with us on these platforms because TCN needs your support to deliver more on its mandate this year. TCN wishes you the best always, and remember to adhere to the coronavirus prevention protocol. I am Amara Agogoesi, and I'll always keep in touch.